Well, hi there, and welcome to another one of our 5 Tips for Horticulture series. My name is Paul Fisher, and I work at University of Florida IFAS Extension, and it's a real pleasure to introduce my friend and colleague, Bob Hockmuth. And Bob is the Center Director for the North Florida Research and Education Center at Suwannee Valley. And he's also a regional specialized extension agent for commercial vegetable crops in northeastern Florida. And the bottom line is that Bob has a tremendous amount of experience of growing hydroponic and field vegetables in warm and humid environments. And he's our go-to resource here for Northern Florida. And in addition to that, Bob also is the lead instructor for our Greenhouse Training Online course on hydroponic vegetable production. So welcome, Bob, and I'll hand things off to you.
Okay, thank you, Paul, and I look forward to sharing some information and what we've been learning over the past 5 or 6 years, and it'll be 5 tips for growing greenhouse lettuce in the heat. So here we go. The focus for today is going to be on a nutrient film technique. That's one of the more common ways that hydroponic lettuce is grown. There are other ways as well, using some substrates and also deep water culture. But today the focus is going to be on nutrient film technique. The slides in front of you here on the right and the lower left are some pictures of our own nutrient film technique system here that we use at our research center. And the upper left, of course, a large commercial grower using nutrient film technique to produce lettuce. We've seen a pretty significant increase in hydroponic lettuce production over the past couple of years. But the challenge here in Florida has been that we have very high temperatures and very high humidity environments. And what this has done over time is that the growers have perhaps 8 months of the year where it's pretty easy to grow lettuce, environmentally speaking. But there are 3 or 4 months of the year where it's extremely hot and also extremely humid. And that makes it really challenging for the growers to continue to be able to get into the marketplace. But this research has been driven by the growers' interest in trying to expand that growing season and market season as much as possible. So the primary challenges that they have during this hot period of the year is that the ambient temperatures go well above the optimum growth for lettuce inside these greenhouse structures. The nutrient solution temperature as a result of that also goes very high, much higher than what the plants should have. So it also is difficult to maintain the proper EC. The research has shown we need to make some adjustments there, and I'll go over that briefly in just a moment. But when the temperature of the nutrient solution goes high, we also begin to have some associated root challenges, especially providing sufficient oxygen and allowing an environment in the nutrient solution where Pythium root rot can become the primary concern there and take advantage of those poor conditions for the lettuce plant. There's a couple of characteristics that seem to express themselves more in the summertime, and those are both tip burn and bolting. I'll discuss what we're doing about those here in a moment. And typically the high temperatures also result in greater bitterness in the lettuce, so the consumers might view that as less favorable if we're not able to solve that particular problem. So our strategies back a few years ago to try to find a solution to this particular problem to our growers was to integrate several different strategies where we may be able to help alleviate some of these problems. I want to give credit to, in this picture, to Wanda Laughlin, who is our greenhouse manager here at the Research Center on the right, and myself just sort of following her instructions as we go along. She's a really, really good grower, and we've had great success with these research trials, largely due to her talent. But the strategies that we want to integrate together include some method of shading so we can reduce the ambient temperatures as much as we possibly can, even though we're limited there. We want to be able to have automated EC monitoring and adjustment during the season. And we want to also reduce the temperature of the nutrient solution going through the channels when we get into these really high temperature periods. Of course, this period of time would suggest that we might have to evaluate different cultivars than we would normally use in other times of the season to see which cultivars do the best during the summer period. And then recently, we've been doing more and more on the post-harvest handling and market quality aspects of lettuce, and I want to talk about that as well. But these are our 5 tips and strategies that I'd like to discuss in further detail. The first one is that under the high ambient temperatures, there's very little that we can do because of the high humidity that goes along with that high temperature. So we want to make sure that we're implementing a shading system both on the top of the greenhouse and on the sides of the greenhouse if necessary to try to reduce the ambient temperatures as much as possible. In many cases, our fan and pad type of systems, our evaporative cooling systems, don't work quite as well here when the humidity goes up high. And so those particular cooling methods are not as efficient when we get into the high humidity period of our season here. There's other parts where the humidity may be much lower and could potentially be more effective as a cooling method. But we have learned that probably 40 to 50% maximum shading altogether is probably as much shading as the lettuce plants can tolerate. And that's a combination of the shading material plus the glazing material, the covers that we have on the greenhouse. So take that into consideration. You'll note here that our monitor shows 104 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 40 degrees Celsius. But it also, I want to note that it shows the humidity over 90% in the greenhouse. So those are the conditions that are very typical for a very long period of time, probably 100 days more or less, that we're really challenged for growing lettuce and other leafy greens in the summertime. We also found that we are going to need to run the electrical conductivity of the nutrient solution much lower than we normally would, but it's important to maintain high calcium at the same time. So you'll see why when I go into the tip burn discussion. But if we were to continue to run a much higher EC for us, let's say around a 1.8, if we continue to do that, we might create some other problems in the summertime period. So we have found that lowering the EC, but making sure that we have sufficient calcium is the way for us to go. And you can see here that we're running our automated system here at 1.2 EC. I just want to throw in a caution here that that's what we're doing in our greenhouse. Your greenhouse EC would likely be a different target because of the differences in the starting EC of the well water. So for us, it's 0.4 typically with a lot of calcium in our water. So if you have different EC of well water to start with, of course, your final EC is going to be different. So just caution not to just automatically use 1.2 for your target EC. But the combination of the fertilizer mix that we use along with the 70 or 80 parts per million of calcium that we have in our well water, we typically are delivering close to 200 parts per million of calcium in our nutrient solution. And keeping that EC a little bit lower seems to be one of the important things to do over the summertime. We also have integrated in a chiller unit to keep the nutrient solution lower than it would normally be without this chiller. And I think this is probably the single ingredient of the 5 tips that has moved us the furthest forward in this particular strategy. So what happens here, the nutrient solution comes into the channels on the upper left and flows down to the right-hand side of the screen into the PVC back into the reservoir. And then when it comes out of the reservoir, it will go through the chilling unit that's on the table. It looks like a small window air conditioner and sort of similar, if you think of it that way, similar in function to what we're doing here. So the water goes through that, comes back out, and the heat is removed from the nutrient solution. We have found that a target temperature of somewhere between 70 and 75 degrees Fahrenheit or 21 to 24 degrees Celsius is sort of where we want to be. And I've inserted a photo here in the lower left that at that particular day, we were running pretty consistently at 72.3 degrees Fahrenheit. If the chilling unit is sized properly for the size of your nutrient film technique system, you should be able to maintain those temperatures. But it's important for you to make sure that you purchase a properly sized chilling unit. If you undersize the chilling unit, you're going to have trouble keeping these target temperatures. So be careful about that. The next area that we've actually spent a good bit of time doing evaluations of different cultivars, ones that are currently on the market, and we've also been collaborating with our lettuce breeder here at the University of Florida, Dr. Herman Sandoya, who has a lot of new releases coming along that looks like they could really fit well into our greenhouse system. So when we do these evaluations, we're selecting for things like yield and quality like you normally would. We're also looking at how well these plants can tolerate just the high temperatures themselves. But we certainly are evaluating and looking very closely at things like tip burn and bolting and bitterness in these various cultivars. More recently, we've been doing some work with other colleagues at the University of Florida, evaluating vitamin content within different cultivars of lettuce. And interestingly enough, we're finding that there are differences that we can find there. Overall, we've evaluated several different types of lettuce, and I just mentioned a few here: romaine, bib, leaf, and the Salanova types. Salanova types relatively recently released, and they seem to have really good heat tolerance and have performed well for us. But we're evaluating several different cultivars within each of these groups, and also comparing some of our new breeding lines that are coming along in our University of Florida breeding program. One of the characteristics that really becomes a challenge in the summertime under these high temperatures and high humidity is tip burn. And this is a disorder that is associated with low calcium at the time that tissue is expanding. And so I'll use the picture on the upper right-hand side where the open leaves, you can see where there's less tip burn there. Not that there's none, but there's less. And so in this particular variety, it's very sensitive to tip burn. But on the open leaves, we often find that there's less tip burn there. And that's because calcium is taken up in the plant through the water stream. So without adequate water in that tissue, you're likely to end up also with low calcium, and as a result, end up with a tip burn. So the reason that oftentimes shows up in the inner part of all three of these pictures is that there's less transpiration going on in those inner leaves because they're just not exposed and fully open to the sunlight. So we tend to see this tip burn inside the heads of the lettuce cultivars that we're evaluating because we do not get as much transpiration there, and as a result don't get adequate calcium, resulting in tip burn. So this is a really important characteristic, and fortunately, there are several cultivars that are very tolerant to this tip burn during this period of time and when it's really, really hot here. The next trait that we are evaluating is bolting, and bolting is simply where the main stem begins to elongate into a flower stalk. And this is a normal process in lettuce. However, under the high temperatures, this particular trait expresses itself much more quickly than you normally would expect it to as a result of the high temperatures. And this also leads to bitterness typically in these cultivars that begin to bolt. So we're evaluating this particular trait, and you can see where the main stem is elongating within each of these lettuce pictures. And in the one in the center, I've cut open, slit down the center so you can clearly see where the center flower stalk tissue is expanding and separating between leaves. So it's definitely a very negative aspect when it comes to marketing lettuce, and we need to find cultivars that are tolerant to bolting as one of the other main characteristics that we're working with. There's also some post-harvest considerations that I'd like you to think about, and we've been able to take those lettuce varieties and take samples of them and actually conduct a bitterness taste test with people who sit down at a table, as you see here, and they have 5 little cups in front of them, and that actually is there are different concentrations of caffeine. That caffeine gives a little bitterness in its raw form, and so we're able to calibrate the bitterness of the lettuce according to the different concentrations of caffeine, and have the folks that are cooperating with us see if they can find differences in bitterness among the different cultivars. And sure enough, there are cultivars that vary in bitterness as well through this process. So it gives us one more thing to refine our cultivar selection. Over the last year or two, we've now have some other colleagues that are working on vitamin C, vitamin E, and vitamin K in the different cultivars of lettuce, and we're finding that there are in fact differences in these vitamin contents, especially as they're associated with different types of weather or different environments in the greenhouse. So this is a really interesting part of our current research, and we are finding that there are some of the cultivars in our University of Florida release program that are a little bit higher in these vitamin contents. So we're excited about that research, and maybe another marketing tool as we move our way forward in helping consumers identify where we have special traits like higher nutrition. One final comment that it's very difficult for us to harvest lettuce in the middle of the days here when the temperatures are high. It just doesn't stay fresh during that period of time. So we most of the time are recommending to harvest real early in the morning. In some cases, we have growers that come in before the sun comes up and begin harvesting, but certainly have the harvesting done before the ambient temperatures in the greenhouse go up. It's very difficult to remove that heat from the lettuce to get it cooled down. So we want to try to catch it before those temperatures go up, and more practice maintaining that cool temperature in the lettuce. And it really helps in terms of post-harvest quality. We also find that the nutrient value is much higher if we can keep it fresh from the time that we actually do the harvesting. So some very interesting new research that we're working on in this particular area, and I'm excited about what we're finding here initially in that. We do have growers that have taken these 5 tips and implemented them on their own farm and have done really, really well. And here's an example of one where he has been able to implement these strategies and is growing and selling, marketing high quality lettuce 12 months of the year here in Florida, even though the temperatures in the greenhouse are quite high and the humidity is quite high. So there are measures of testing among growers here, this particular group of strategies, and doing really, really well with it. And here's one example of that. So just in summary, the 5 tips to grow lettuce in the heat and help to extend the season include things like using the proper shading material and looking at a maximum of 50% shading total within that greenhouse. Also, we highly recommend some type of automated nutrient management system, an automated dosing system, and also altering that EC as we get into the warmer temperatures. We want to reduce the nutrient solution temperatures, target something in the range of no more than 75 degrees Fahrenheit or 24 degrees Celsius. And then depending on the type of lettuce that you have a market for, we're learning now which cultivars do the best in this hot period of the year along with the high humidity. So we're able to sort of help screen for the growers and determine which varieties will do the best for them. And finally, it's important to have the proper post-harvest handling, make sure we keep the lettuce cool and keep the quality high, and therefore have the highest level of nutrient content for our consumers. So that's the series of 5 tips that we've integrated together to try to extend the season, which was maybe 9 months of the year, to now successfully being able to produce lettuce 12 months of the year here in a very hot, very humid environment.
Thank you very much for those tips, Bob. I really like the fact that they're based on a combination of research and also hands-on grower experience by yourself and Wanda. So you mentioned some of your research projects, such as evaluating different cultivars, and our viewers can find some links to some of those documents in the YouTube description here for this video. And there's also links for the hydroponic vegetable production course that Bob teaches as part of his IFAS extension appointment. So I have a couple of questions for you here, Bob, if you don't mind.
Okay.
You mentioned about, our focus here was on NFT, but you mentioned there was deep water culture and maybe some other techniques. What is it about NFT that's made you go in that direction, and what are some of the attributes of the alternatives?
Yes, thank you. The strategy of starting with nutrient film technique is mostly related to our ability to reduce the nutrient solution temperature. So it's a smaller quantity of water, and we have a better ability to reduce that solution temperature down to the target temperatures that we discussed. It's a little bit more difficult in a deep water culture system where you have a lot more volume of water to retain that low temperature. So I think that our next step might be to evaluate something like this in a higher volume kind of a system. But this was to me the natural starting place, because we feel like we could come up with a combination of things that would work in a nutrient film technique, mostly based on the volume of the solution. And then in the media-based systems, there's a lot of vertical culture where we have different types of substrates in those systems, where we have growers growing lettuce, but we don't have the opportunity to do the chilling part there as well. So we felt like naturally the place to start was NFT. It doesn't mean that that's where we're going to end, but that's where we started.
Great, and you focused also on lettuce, and sounds like there's some exciting University of Florida breeding coming along for heat-tolerant varieties. How about other leafy green or other vegetable crops that could handle some of these hot and humid conditions a little easier than lettuce?
Yeah, that's a good question. And we started with lettuce because the opportunity there and the number of growers that would be positively impacted with this research. We've also done a little bit with basil. So some of the leafy herbs also, I think, would be able to be responsive to this set of conditions here in Florida. But that's exactly where our future research plans are headed. We want to be able to evaluate other popular leafy greens, kale, Swiss chard, and Asian vegetables. That's where our future research, I think, will head. So over the next 12 months or so, I think that we'll begin integrating in some research trials that will do exactly what you're asking and evaluate some of those other leafy greens. I suspect that we're going to have similar success, but we'll have to go through the whole series there again and try to find out what cultivars work best and what the temperature targets are for those different leafies. But yep, that's where we're headed.
All right, great. Well, it sounds like a lot of exciting information coming down the pipeline here. And I would just like to thank you again for all of this really valuable insights and information that you provided. And for our viewers, please click on subscribe to see other 5 tips series. And I would thoroughly recommend the certificate course that Bob teaches on hydroponic vegetable production. And it's really designed for viewers like you who are commercial growers who are looking to expand your skills in hydroponics. So thanks again, Bob.
No, you're very welcome. Appreciate the opportunity to share what we've been doing. Thank you, Paul.